Thank you for joining me today. We are going to do a real world mile per gallon test on this. This is a 2023 Volvo V60 Cross Country B5 Ultimate. Big long name, but for a big, beautiful car. Yeah, guys, this is an actual station wagon. And we're gonna see what kind of mileage we can actually get out of this. Now, this has a sort of mild hybrid system in it. It just kind of controls the start and stop part of it. It doesn't actually kick into electric like a standard hybrid car where you start it up in electric. This actually starts up on the engine, mostly runs the engine, just at the start and stop. At stoplights, it'll kick into electric mode and it'll use an electric starter to fire up the engine instead of a traditional starter. So let's take a look at this real quick, and then we're gonna head to the gas station. We're gonna get filled up, and then we're gonna get on our way. You can see this is black. It's not blue, it's not a dark blue or anything, it is black. But you can see how awesome this car is. This thing is just sleek, it's beautiful. And it is something that I could see myself driving every day. Never thought I would say that about a station wagon, but this is one beautiful station wagon. The lines are clean, and I think it just looks impressive. It looks bulky, it looks powerful, it looks strong. Now, this does only have a 2.0 liter turbo 4-cylinder engine. And the rating on it is 23 in the city, 29 on the highway, at 26 average. Now, that's not the greatest, but maybe it will overachieve today. So let's take a quick look at the inside and we're gonna get out of here. Pop door open now. You see the colors in here are beautiful. The cool thing about this does extend and these will tighten up. This moves and you got powered seats all below. And you have your lumbar, which will actually move up and down with you, however you want it positioned. See inside, it does have a Android automotive infotainment system. So you got Google Maps, which is really nice. So we don't have to worry about hooking up our phones to it. But you can see it's just a nice, beautiful car. Your back seats, plenty of room back here. You can see they even have full control of everything they want to do back here. And small little area with a hatch. Take a quick look. Not big, not huge, but it actually is big enough. So that's pretty impressive. Okay, so we got 90 miles to go. We are going to drive through some cities. We're going to drive highway and we're going to drive some interstate. Bulk of it's going to be highway. There's going to be probably about 15 miles of city, probably somewhere around 20 miles of interstate, and then the rest is all going to be highway. If you've seen some of my other ones so far, pretty much everything is overachieving except for maybe one. But let's see what this one can do. And let's head to the gas station. Okay, we're here and we are gonna get filled up. One thing I did notice is it does take premium, so we gotta make sure that we put premium in. All right, here we go. Now, get premium. All right, so we're gonna fill this up. Now, we've been driving this for a little bit, so it's probably gonna take a little bit of more time to fill this up than normal, so I won't record this whole thing. Okay, so there's that. We're gonna do a top off pull. So we got, here we go, we're gonna pull 1, 2, 3, that's it, 3 seconds. We'll make sure we remember 3 seconds next time we come back. Hopefully we can get this same pump and we won't have to worry about the 3 seconds. Back. You'll see 5.848 gallons. And if you're just curious, $4.59 for premium. All right, and our super long receipt. So let's get back in and let's get moving. Okay, so I just reset, make sure we reset that again, reset the trip, and that's what we're gonna be following. So let's get out on the road. Okay, so we are entering our first town here, and let's take a look at what we got going on. We're going 40 right now. We are averaging 34.5 miles per gallon right down here in the corner. So far, it is overperforming. So I will check in with you as we exit town, and we'll see if it changed any going through town and having a few stop signs and stoplights. Okay, as you can see, we are out of town now, and we are at 35. So, wow, we really are overachieving in this car so far. That's awesome. In case this is your first time watching one of my range tests, let's set up the parameters for this test. So first, we make sure that the tires are aired up to the manufacturer spec. Number two, we fill up the tank and we do the top off. And I always count how long the top off is in case we have to use a different pump when we come back to refill and top off. And that way it stays the same. I can use the exact amount of seconds that it does at a different pump. So number three is we drive 5 miles per hour over the speed limit, regardless whether it's in town, highway, or interstate. So it's going to range in town from 35 to 45, somewhere in that range, most of the way through towns. And on the highway, we're going to be driving 60, and the interstate 75. We'll be driving 90 miles. So we got 45 miles there, 45 miles back, and it's going to be a mix of about 3 towns, and the first one is the one we gassed up in. We'll drive through a second town and through a third town. We'll take a trip on the interstate for about 20 miles, come back, and we'll go back through those same 3 towns back to the original gas station. Once we top off at the gas station, then we will get out the calculator, plug in how many miles we drove, how many gallons that we put back in, and we'll figure out what the real world mile per gallon is. Now, this car is 23 in the city, 29 on the highway, and 26 average. So we should be somewhere in that 26 range. Lately, they've been overestimating, and they've been getting way over what we expect them to get in the last few tests. So we should be somewhere around the 26 number. But we'll see if they overestimated or they underestimated. All right, we are coming into our next town. Wow, look at that cloud up there. That's pretty crazy. Wow. All right, so we're cruising in here into town, and we are at 36.1. So we are supposed to average 26. So, I mean, it's even supposed to only be 29 on the highway. So this is actually pretty crazy. So we'll see what happens once we get through town and we get ready to get up on the interstate. We'll check in then, and then we'll check in when we're up on the interstate and when we get ready to turn around. are heading up, get up on the interstate. And you can see right now we are at 35.5. Gonna head up the on-ramp. This is just crazy. I mean, this gas mileage so far is nuts. It's not supposed to be this high. All right, we gotta get moving here. Get up to speed. Get locked in at 75. All right, we are locked in at 75. Get moved over. I don't know if you guys see that, the heads-up display there. Hopefully it's not flickering too much. I think you can see it pretty well. 75 right there. You can see we are at 35 miles per gallon. All right, I will check in when we get to our turnaround point. You can also see that we have gone 31.6 miles so far. Okay, we are coming up to our exit right here, and you can see that we are averaging 34 miles per gallon right now. We've just hit 44.1 miles. 34.5 is well over even the highway number, so that is pretty cool. Very impressive. It seems to look like Volvo was underestimating their miles per gallon. And now we're sitting here trying to turn around. We got cars coming from each direction. And this is why people get annoyed driving 35 on the on-ramp. So we'll just have to go around them. So that has dropped us down to 33.5. But I don't think we're going to have an issue here of staying at least above 30. That I don't see why we wouldn't. So we are coming up on our exit. And get around this semi here. I'm up behind. I don't know why this truck is driving so slow, but anyway, we are averaging 33.5 miles per gallon so far, 57.8 miles. Don't know what this truck is doing. Okay, so we're going off the off ramp and we're going 27 miles per hour. And I have no idea why. But we are gonna have to get around them coming into town here because other people are not gonna want to drive this speed. All right. Oh boy. Okay, so yep, still averaging 33.5 coming into town and 58.8 miles. So be a little hard in the sun here, so I'm not gonna like blind you guys with this camera. I will catch up with you as we exit town. All right, we are heading out of town. And you can see right now that we are averaging 33 miles per gallon. Traveled 63.3 miles so far, so we are still well above the highway rating and not just the average. So that is pretty cool. 33.5 miles per gallon at 79.3 miles. So this is doing really great. It's way over what the highway mileage is supposed to be. So it's supposed to be at 30, and you know, we're at 3.5 miles per gallon over that. And that's not even, the average is supposed to be 26. So they are way underestimating this car. This car is fabulous. All right, we have made it out of town. We're back out on the highway and we are heading back to the gas station now. So we are at 33.5 still, 81.7 miles. So we're gonna roll in there in about 10 miles and we'll get gassed up and see what we end up with. Does it match this 33.5 or whatever we end up with at the gas station? Is it gonna match what Volvo has on their estimator? And it's going to be well over what the EPA has it rated at and what Volvo has it rated at, even on the highway. But we'll see if this matches up with what we get with our calculator at the gas pump. Back in town, heading up to the gas station, and at this moment 34 miles per gallon, 88.5 miles is what this says. I know I've done this exact same trip several times and it always came up at 90 or almost 91, so I'm not sure why this says 88.6. I took the exact same route every time, but we can use the same pump, so I don't have to worry about counting the top off, which is cool. Now we can get filled up right now. We're ready to go. Open here. Again, we got premium. And let's see what we get here. It's probably going to be somewhere around 3 gallons, will be my guess. Sounds like it's getting close, maybe 2.5. Oh, 2.685, okay. Time for the top off. Yeah, that was it. Didn't do much. 2.750, all right, so that's the number we're looking at. Again, super long receipt. Okay, so as we saw, we were at 34 miles per gallon is what I'm showing on the Volvo right now. So up in the corner of the screen, you can see that the Volvo says 34 miles per gallon. Now, what we are going to look at is whether that's accurate or not. And it says 88.7 miles. Now, like I said, I drive this same route every single time, and it's always been between 90 and 91 miles. So I'm not sure why this says 88.7, but we're gonna have to go by what that says. I guess I can look at our other trip, and it says the same thing, 88.7. So that's what we're gonna go by, just in case something, I don't know, something weird happened. We've got 88.7 divided by right here 2.750, so divided by 2.750 gives us 32.25. So 32.25 is what we've got, and Volvo says 34 on their screen. So I'll take a quick picture of that, make sure you guys see that. So still 32.25, that's way above the highway at 30. It's way above the average. Let me know if you think we need to do some more city driving. Maybe we need to take a trip around the city as we go through this. But other than that, it looks like for the 2023 Volvo V60 Cross Country B5 Ultimate, you can look at 32.25 as being your real world mile per gallon average. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't seen the review on this car, you can click on this box right up here. If you want to see something else on the channel, click the other box right down here. YouTube thinks you would love this video. And I will see you in the next one.